the day I left, actually, someone keyed my Ferrari. The US is the wealthiest country in the world. Whether you like them or not, they love people that do well. They love success. They love people in shape. They love people that are driven and hardworking. People that do well are not people pleasers. Not you have to tell them they're fat. That person knows that by looking in the mirror.
He looks like Gorlock the Destroyer.
The Destroyer. The women go, she's beautiful. I'm like, what if you tell a girl, oh, you look like Lizzo? They're going to cry.
James Cooper, how did your personal journey as an athlete shape you to creating BTX?
So I've always been fascinated with elite performance. So I'm a third dan black belt in jiu-jitsu. I've been weight training, God, as long as I can remember actually. Your dad got me into my fitness journey. And you'd want that in the podcast, yeah, of course. Your dad, Vaughan, got me into weight training. I was a kid basically at David Lloyd, saw a dad, South African, beefcake, basically. And I was like, no, it's just like all 14-year-olds, I was fascinated being in shape. I saw a dad, I was like, I want to be like that, basically. I started lifting weights, got into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, played rugby, got into Jiu-Jitsu when I was 15 from the UFC. And I know every single boy and man wants to be able to fight. So I saw the UFC, which basically was the pinnacle. And the people that won the first UFC, the Gracie family, or Royce Gracie, was a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner. So people used to think the heavyweight champion of the world was the toughest person in the world. Now we know it's the UFC heavyweight champion, which is currently Tom Aspinall. So I wanted to learn Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I realised there was an academy in West London, Ladbroke Grove, Kensal Road. I was 15, went down there, and that was it. And been training there for 20 years. So been doing that, and I realised you had to be strong, fit for that to be able to fight. So I understood that what was going on in the world the last 20 years is you could own a business and be super wealthy, but if you weren't in shape, people will look down on you. The fact is, every man will not respect a guy who's not in shape. You can be a multi-millionaire, but you have a fat belly, people are going to look down on you. Well, the ultimate goal is to have a Ferrari and step out your Ferrari and be in awesome shape, with some cauliflower ears too, because it's tough. But what's happened is that people have changed the mindset. So if you look at like Mark Zuckerberg, or any of these top entrepreneurs are in shape now. Jeff Bezos is in shape now. The world has changed. So I saw a gap in the market that basically was training these sort of elite people that were in shape. These people were not lazy who built these businesses. They're incredibly hardworking people who allowed their health to go to the wayside. So where we would step in is basically like a concierge service with their nutrition and training around their busy lifestyle.
As an owner of a gym and obviously part of the health and fitness industry, what do you think is the biggest lie in the health and fitness industry?
God, there's so many, but I think the biggest lie is that it's going to happen quickly. I think also the biggest lie is that there'll be one, when you sell something to someone, I think you need kind of like a quick fix. So it might be, there's loads of different things. It'd be like some sort of special diet, be carnivore, vegan, whatever it is. People are jumping from thing to thing to avoid the reality. They actually have to put the work in. And also be consistent. So anyone that, if you give an idea, if someone's very wealthy, they haven't built a business with one idea. It's taken one idea that has fucked up a lot of times, and they eventually get there by being consistent and changing things on the way. Getting into shape is a bit like that it's just going to take time. But the biggest thing actually, the most important thing about being in shape, the number one most important thing is emotional stability. So when someone's emotionally unstable, we know this, when you're very, very overweight, we're not talking about, 6 pounds overweight. If actually it's an eating disorder. You don't get to being 140 kilos by just eating a bit too much or having one beer. It's not going to happen like that. So the biggest lie people tell people is a certain diet, but really what they're not working on is people's emotions, emotional stability, and being able to actually talk with their clients and understand why they're eating like that in the first place. So the biggest lie would basically be this diet is the thing that will change. This is the diet that will get in shape. Never is like that at all.
You have to put the work in.
Yeah, you have to put the work in, the consistency.
Yeah.
Can you share a pivotal moment where you realised that the BTX training method worked?
Pivotal moment. Well, when I started working as a personal trainer myself, I started in Gymbox Bank in the city, I think 14 years ago. I realised, I took on clients. Remember, I was in shape myself, so I worked myself, but there's a very big difference between training other people and training yourself. So I realised basically that people didn't want something complicated. This is the thing, I think a lot of personal trainers don't understand this. They want to give them like over-the-top diets, over-the-top training methods and be like an entertainer. But really what someone who's very, very busy working on their business, lawyer, an investment banker, surgeon, whatever it may be, they want simplicity. So I realized what worked was when I just started getting results. It wasn't an epiphany moment. It was basically when I realized I could get consistent results. And also, never mind that, my trainers would get consistent results for people too.
You obviously take care of yourself in the gym, but also in the kitchen. What do you reckon is the best change to make for people to lose weight? Whether that's stop eating junk food or foods nowadays being full of highly processed rubbish, basically.
So the problem with processed food isn't the literally processed food. If you eat a chocolate bar that's processed, it's not going to instantaneously make you fat. The problem with the processed food is that it doesn't fill you up. So the first thing I'll do is eat 3 solid meals a day of protein. I promise you, if you have 3 solid meals a day with protein, steak, chicken, fish, add some vegetables or fruit to that, a handful, and add a handful of carbohydrates to each of those meals. Rice, potatoes, non-processed. If you do that 3 times a day, you will get into shape. The reason being is if you're making sure you're full, you won't binge eat as much. Most people, what they do, and every single person watching this or listening to this will be thinking the same thing. What they'll do is go, I'm putting on weight, I need to do something drastic. So what they'll do is they actually cut all their calories back, they starve themselves, they have one bit of chocolate and they go bananas. They start binging and go, I'll start my diet tomorrow. Rather than actually doing something consistently, going, I'm eating 3 solid meals a day. When it comes to chocolate bar, they have a bit like, actually I'm full, I just don't need any more. So the best thing they can do is eating 3 solid meals a day of protein, fruit and veg, and some carbohydrates.
That's the thing with the processed food. Someone will go to like McDonald's, get a burger, chips, drink, nuggets, whatever, but then you'll still feel hungry like 20 minutes later where it should have satisfied you.
Exactly. That's the problem with processed food. Look, there are some things in there actually do cause a lot of other illnesses, but the main issue is people, if you look at the grand scale of things, it's not the processed food. People are just really overweight. Eating too much processed food is not great for you, but the fact that someone's morbidly obese is really the problem. It's going to cause much more health problems.
Mm-hmm. What does success mean to you personally?
I think I think I'm going to remove this and say not to me, it's for everyone, because if anyone says this, they're lying. So you have to look after your physical shape, be physically fit and strong. That's a man and woman. Because without your health, you have nothing. And if you had someone close to you being very ill, you'll realize someone who's ill, the only thing they'll be wishing for is to be healthy. They won't care about money or anything else. They want to be well. Number 2 would be your family. So finding a wife or a husband and basically building a family with them. It's really simple. And another one is financial success. And that would be building a business, or whatever it may be, a professional job, it doesn't matter. Building wealth that builds financial stability, so you don't have to worry about money. And also by doing something that actually makes you happy. So that'll be helping other people in some way. So it can be a doctor, it can be a gym, it can be some sort of community of some sort. And I put the last one in there is spiritual health. So whatever that may be, and you don't have to necessarily even believe in God, but you have some sort of purpose in your life of some sort, like a higher power of some sort. So it doesn't matter what religion you are, but having some sort of higher power you believe in and some sort of purpose is what drive you forward. Without purpose, that's when people get depressed. And the last one, the fitness one, is being physically able to defend yourself. So just being physically strong and fit is fantastic, and eating well and nourishing your body. But if you can't physically protect yourself, as a woman as well, to be honest, have some sort of ability to fight. But as a man, if you can't physically protect yourself,
Or your woman.
or your woman, if you can't protect yourself, you're a worm. I'm sorry, you just are. You're a worm. Because literally you can have a billionaire, but if someone comes into your house and you're literally going to hide behind your wife, don't care how much money you have. Literally the most important thing as a man is still physical protection. And all men will say, and women in particular will lie, and they go, I don't care, a guy can fight. Yes, they do. Let's look at if I'll give you an idea, an example, I love this. Jeff Bezos is sitting there. John Jones walks in and Tom Aspinall. Who's the man?
They're taking his wife.
He's taking his wife, yeah. Tom Aspinall and John Jones are the man. Now it's Tom Aspinall who's heavyweight champion, but he's the man when he walks in. And your wife or girlfriend is lying to you, he's more attractive than Jeff Bezos. And not even because physically, because he's tough. It's the way it is.
They are more competent.
They're more competent. They're more competent.
And he drinks coffee with milk.
Who does?
Probably Bezos.
I bet, yeah, he must do. Yeah, he's a milk drinker. Yeah. Actually, I don't think he is, actually. I reckon he's a black coffee guy. And sparkling water guy, of course.
He's got quite built over.
He's in shape, yeah. Do you know this story about this? Jeff Bezos, basically, he was like normal, what I call like corporate fat, like a bit overweight. Leonardo DiCaprio basically was on a boat, his boat, went up to his wife and was chatting to her, and his wife basically started flirting with him. As soon as literally that happened, you see Jeff Bezos' face, he literally like went like this, he was looking at him like this, like angry. I promise you 3 months later, the guy was in shape.
But that's exactly like what you're saying.
I was going to say, like you said about who's the man, Tom Aspinall and John Jones or Jeff Bezos. Like Jeff Bezos wasn't the man in comparison to Leo, even though he's like better looking, he has less money, he has a better physique.
Yeah, he's in better shape, better looking, right? And also more masculine. But Jeff Bezos now is the man, so good for him. Because I'll tell you something, no billionaire or multimillionaire, 0% of them, if they're overweight, will say they're happy being overweight. Because to build a company and build that kind of wealth, you have to be honest with yourself. You can't build wealth like that, because there'll be a point where if you ignore what's going on in business, you're going to lose a lot of money and you'll keep business crash. So very honest with reality. So those kind of people that are honest with reality will want to be in shape. The pink-haired, the green-haired women and the people with the nose ring are the people that pretend they don't want to be in shape because they basically want to change the game. Every guy knows the game is to be strong and fit and to earn money. But these people, these guys, who can't build wealth or get into shape, they'll pretend they're not impressed by that. They play the different games. They go, I'm not impressed by you, but I'm more moral than you, because you can't measure morality. You can't measure morality at all.
But also, once they've accumulated all this wealth, I believe that that's an even bigger reason to take care of yourself.
Absolutely.
Because you have the money, you have the cars, you have your wife and kids. You may as well live as long as you can with the things you've created.
But I could. Yeah, exactly that, of course. No, every single person who owns wealth nowadays, it used to be a bit different, I think, but nowadays anyone who owns a lot of money, the next thing to do is to get into shape. And loads of them know how to fight as well. They start doing martial arts.
Yeah, like Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg, yeah, he's getting the best women. All of us, literally a multimillionaire. First thing you'll do is pay the best coaches. Of course you would. 100%. Of course you would, in your house. You get your mates in and just train with them, literally.
Yeah,
of course
you're also a massive target.
Yeah, well, imagine, yeah, exactly.
But that's
of course.
what you have. Like, most of your clients are wealthy people, successful people. They come to train with you because they know, okay, I'm going to pay the best coaches to do everything for me.
You have to lie, but thank you. No, we're being serious. Though our gym does have good coaches. I've trained them. They're brilliant. And all the people that come in, again, we tend to get people, it's really interesting. So to one of my friends, Dr. Matt Slavin from school. He's a psychologist, PhD, went to Durham. And I said something to him. I asked him, why are these people who come to my gym, they're never really, really overweight. They're just sort of a bit chubby. They've just put weight over time. And he said the reason being is those kind of people have just neglected their health a bit and they've gone too far, I need to do something. People that are very, very overweight, they're detached from reality. You can't get to 140 kilos and be honest with yourself. That's the point when you get to 120 and you go like, oh, maybe I should do something about it. But what they do, instead of saying, I've got 120, I need to do something about it, they go, oh, I don't care about being in shape. It's not for me. And they'll say, I love how I look. And they start lying.
No,
body positivity.
It's bad when you start lying to yourself and believing it. Like me and Ariel, like when we were younger, like 13, 14, even 15, we were both like severely overweight. I don't know how much I weighed at my max, but
because you didn't want to look at the scales. You
I
don't
was
want to
a-
look
Yeah.
at the
I
scales.
was a fat kid back in lockdown. All I was doing was sitting, playing Xbox and eating shit. Like,
What made you change though? It's an interesting question. Someone like you, because to understand the market, like, what changed you to?
just realized like I used to be able to do like it sounds ridiculous, but when I was a kid I used to be really fit, do like push-ups and shit. And then I realized after lockdown, like year 10, year 11, like can't do sit-ups, can't do pull-ups, can't do push-ups, like get in shape. And I started like Muay Thai and going to the gym and,
Yeah.
and it changed with like the losing weight and stuff. I don't think it's that complicated. I think it's as simple as eat a little bit less, eat healthy, and just move more. Because going from like sitting down, having like a sedentary lifestyle, sitting down, working on a computer every day, even if you add like a couple hundred steps more, might maybe just walking to the shops and back instead of driving, that'll make like a big difference over time. It compounds.
I'll tell you something fascinating. So I was on a podcast yesterday, a guy called Mike Israetel, who's a sports physiologist, quite famous. He was on Trigonometry, the podcast. And he said something interesting. So people that are American, and America's the fattest country in the world, I'm pretty sure, but one of them at least.
Have really high obesity.
Yeah, so an average person has the same step count pretty much as someone in Africa. It's actually not that different, but obviously the biggest difference is the amount they eat. So the step count is great and moving more, but it's, you know this yourself, you do a Thai boxing session, say you burn 500 calories, you do a row or run, but really, we both know you can eat 500 calories easily. Yeah. It's like nothing, hoover it, it's gone, right?
Take long.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So more important is the eating. And the thing is, like I said before, anyone listening to this, I promise you, just eat 3 solid meals a day, real food, and you will lose weight because you're not as hungry. Every single person I've ever met who's overweight, what they do is they starve themselves in front of people because they're embarrassed. You know, yeah, I really did it. Yeah, you've done it. You guys have done it yourself. So you're literally embarrassed because of the way you look. And then they go, I don't eat that. I'm like, you do.
Yeah, you can tell.
You do. You have to lie, and people know that. And what they do is then binge when no one's watching.
And it's always the fattest people at dinners, especially when you're at restaurants, the fattest people, they'll order a salad.
Yeah.
They'll make it look like they're, I'm eating well, whatever. They'll go home and they'll eat
You're not lying to anyone, right? It's the Starbucks thing. You walk into a Starbucks, the fat woman who gets the venti frappuccino with cream on top, and you're like, you don't really need to have that cream on top. But they're the ones. In fact, actually, it's the opposite of what I said. Literally, you've seen in Starbucks these girls having like 1,200 calories. Yeah, it's not not coffee, it's a milkshake, which is fine. You have a milkshake if you want it, but it's not a coffee. Do you know what I mean?
When you're having that milkshake and calling it a coffee, having it every day on the way to work, it's just gonna over time it's gonna
Accumulate.
compound and just make you fat.
That's what happens. Exactly.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, so we're in London right now, but you moved to Dubai. Why did you move to Dubai?
Okay, where'd you start? So I moved to Dubai mainly originally, I went to Dubai about 3.5 years ago. Went on holiday, loved it, etc. But loving someone on holiday is like you visit Marbella. I mean, Marbella maybe is somewhere you'd live, but going on holiday somewhere doesn't mean you'll live there. However, Dubai has incredible structure in terms of healthcare, schooling, all the other stuff that basically makes the Western world good. I mean, in terms of infrastructure. But basically what's happening in my business was the tax was slowly growing after COVID. It went up and up and up. Corporation tax went up to 25% from 19.5% it was. Personal tax has gone up, etc., etc. So I was looking to move to Dubai anyway, because in Dubai there's no personal tax. So if I take dividends from my company, I don't pay any tax on that. So I can take less money for my business, basically, right? I wanted to do that, and what happened was you can do 90 days in the UK. And basically what happened was I phoned my accountant and he goes, look, you have to wait till next year. You've done your 90 days. And my dad was like, I think you've done like 88 days. So packed 2 suitcases and left pretty much. But the point being anyway is why did I leave to Dubai? Because in every single aspect it's better than the UK and London. We talk about London almost separately from the rest of the UK. In terms of healthcare, it's better. In terms of safety, it's better. In terms of low taxation, it's better. In terms of schooling, it's better. People's attitude is better. The only thing I'd say is worse, actually, the driving. People are lunatics in Dubai. The driving is actually quite tame here in London. Actually, people are quite relaxed. And that's not just me. So if you look at the highest exodus of millionaires per person is from the UK. And I'd say it's mainly from London. And the highest influx of millionaires, never mind per person is crazy in UAE. But overall is UAE. And then second is the US. You have to just look at the numbers. The economy in the UK is crashing because the reason why we are such a wealthy country is because a lot of wealth is parked here. Russians, Chinese. And now they're removing their money. So what's happening is house prices are dropping. Interest rates are going up. What is going to happen factually is happening at the moment. People will buy these houses who think they're going to go up in value all the time. The reason the houses are so expensive is because foreign investors came in and bought the property. And that made their property go up in value. What's happening is now all the Russians and Chinese are putting their money out and dumping it in Dubai or US, wherever it may be. What happens is your property drops. You bought the house, giving it to understand, you bought your house for 1.2 million, now it's worth $1 million. But you owe the bank 1.2 million, or say 1 million, depending on how big your mortgage was. But then also interest rates are going up. So you basically, the amount of interest you're paying is even higher.
Just goes up.
Yeah.
And it's like a bubble.
Yeah, it's a bubble. And what happens is, I'll tell you, people who accumulate wealth and build wealth, their businesses, are all leaving factually. Every single person I know who has a business or was a professional is leaving. And I'm sure your family thinks about the same thing. It's insane. The amount of tax, it's fair taxation being used properly versus just being wasted on the NHS that just doesn't work anymore.
Because there's no incentive to stay. There's an incentive to leave to Dubai and places like that.
Correct.
You get treated right. Like somewhere like here, you get treated worse if you have money.
Worse, and hates you, right?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, everyone. So the fact is, the reason why people have free healthcare here is because of people that are wealthy, and that's not even wealthy. It's a middle class person who basically has a business. They're told, "Fuck the rich. I hate the rich. We don't need you." And then the rich are like, "Well, not even rich. Super rich don't pay tax anyway. Talk about middle class doctor or lawyer." He just goes, "Well, okay, fine, I'll leave." And that's what's happening. Every single one of my friends I went to a good school, haberdashers, every single one of them is leaving or thinking of leaving. And the only ones who stay, I'll be honest with you, basically have family wealth that mum and dad are salarying them. So you're left with basically soy boys that mum and dad pay for everything. People that actually accumulate wealth and build businesses are leaving. And that will be the end of that.
Yeah, that's the thing. They will leave here, they'll get paid more in Dubai, and then they won't even have to pay the certain taxes on top
Correct.
of it. So they get it's like double plus, they get a higher salary.
Yeah, double the salary, right? So if you think about 100 grand a year, here's about 5 grand. So £8,500 a month, approximately 100 grand a year. If you're in the UK, that means you're getting paid around 4,800, £5,000 after tax. Yeah. In Dubai or UAE, you're getting literally 8,500 a month. So next to whatever it is, 3.5 grand per month, basically, or £3,700 a month to use. Or even not use, you just save it on yourself, and then basically you can save a deposit. In the UK, the rental's so high, you'll never be able to save up for a deposit. It's not possible.
Mm-hmm. And also, you keep your money and you don't get stabbed for your phone.
Yeah, and that's it, literally. I mean, I don't wear my watch in London. You guys are, even with the tag, sort of like risking it a little bit. Yeah, people, the biggest thing, safety. You can walk around and then feel safe. I mean, look, I'm in London. I've grown up here since I'm 35 now, so I've lived since I was 33. But London was very safe. Like, I remember back in the day when I was starting, like, earning money, buying nice watches. People used to laugh at the rest of Europe. You can wear a nice watch. In London, you could walk around with a solid watch. You could walk around with the Patek Philippe. No one will touch you. And then after COVID, it just became very violent. It came very quickly.
It's like another problem. You get all this money, you want to buy nice things, but you can't even use it. Like, you can buy a nice watch, a couple grand even, nothing crazy, and you can't even wear it out because someone's just going to nick it off your wrist, or a car, someone's going to steal it.
Or scratch it, right? Or
exactly.
Yeah.
Just just for pity, just scratch you or debag you or something.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I remember the day I left, actually, someone keyed my Ferrari. Literally, I was already leaving. I went, okay, that's it. I'm just done. I can't do this anymore. For nothing. I haven't done anything to anyone. My money legitimately. I work very hard. Did the normal route.
Just jealousy.
Yeah, built a business that literally helps people. I've done nothing wrong to anyone. I generally like people that look down on anyone at all. And then it's just jealousy. I've done nothing wrong to anyone. And that's the thing. This country basically builds people that hate people that do well. And that's the thing in UAE. And the US, actually, I know it's fashion will take the US. The US is the most powerful, wealthy country in the world by a long way. It's not even comparable. So I think people need to be like, shut the fuck up and actually get back in their box and really understand the US is the wealthiest country in the world, whether you like them or not. They're not perfect. Of course they're not. However, the reason they have that is because they're pro-wealth. They love people that do well. They love success. They love people in shape. They love people that are driven and hardworking.
That's what we were talking about in our previous podcast. And Eunice was saying that, like, in England, someone will be like, won't even try to make loads of money because they see, I can't be something special. As in America, you have the American dream, like a kid.
Why not? Why not?
Maybe like, I'm going to be the next president, even though he may not be. But he's like, there's more incentive to make money and get rich. Whereas in England, they're like, I'll just become a doctor.
Well, the thing is, if you become a doctor, the thing, like we said before, like example, actually, there's an example of that note. So my parents are both dentists. My dad bought a family home for, he actually was talking the other day, actually, 300 grand it cost him. In today's money, by the way, okay? Now it's worth over 1.5 million. And I said, Dad, what was your salary back then? He said around 200 grand in today's money. So as a dentist, his salary's about the same. Salaries have stayed the same. And so his salary was 2/3 of a 6-bedroom house in North London. Now the houses are worth, what is that? Give or take, sevenfold more expensive. Houses have gone up 7 times, but the salaries have stayed the same. It's just broken, so it's just done. It's a scam. It's a scam. It doesn't work. So people living in this bubble. My favourite one as well, and there's nothing wrong with this at all. If your family can help you, I think it's fantastic. You should, if you have a family wealth, your parents should help you out. However, that shouldn't be the only way you can do it. That's when it's a problem.
Yeah, you shouldn't just rely on other people.
Correct. And if you, this is the thing. There's nothing wrong with that. However, it's a problem when no one can actually do it themselves anymore.
You mentioned earlier that you have a lot of high-class clients, whether that's financial or whatever they're doing. What sets BTX apart from other gyms, and what's the reasoning for you having clients such as?
I think the way we market ourselves is very, very to the point. I think that a lot of people are people pleasers. That's the biggest thing. So people that do well are not people pleasers. They're not argumentative. There's another thing. People then say, we're not argumentative, or these people aren't argumentative. They just know what they want. So it's straightforward and there's no bullshit. So if you try and overcomplicate everything, they'll see through the bullshit. And also these people like to be told the truth. Say someone that is an overweight corporate worker and you go, oh no, you look beautiful the way you are. They're like, no, I don't. They look horrible. Literally, they know. And that definitely is the difference between the marketing. That I'm on Instagram tell the truth. And the thing is, it's not because I'm more intelligent or anything like that, because I just know everyone knows this reality and I'm just strong enough to say what people think already. And that's what these people resonate with that.
So honesty.
It's honesty.
It's true, because I don't know about you, Aaron, but when I was overweight, like, people say, oh yeah, you look good. I know I look like shit. I'm fat. So then I know you're like BSing to my face.
Would you trust them?
Yeah, no. I mean,
No.
You can't, like, someone lies once to you, you can't trust them again, because if you're lying to me saying that I look good when I'm clear.
What else they lie about, yeah.
You've got to think, like, what else, like you said, what else are they lying about?
Well, because you know why? People, the reason why they won't tell you the truth. They've been an arsehole to your friend. Like, you have to be literally like, you look disgusting. Then you literally go like, what? Another actually interesting thing, when someone's really, really overweight, you shouldn't really ask them or tell them they're fat. They know they're fat. The way to actually help them, you probably would agree with this, is you ask them like, what's up? What's going wrong? There has to be something going wrong. What's been going on? What's worrying you? What's happening to you? You have to tell them they're fat. That person knows that by looking in the mirror, right? The issue is these people that tell them they look great, the reason they're doing it is not for you. They're doing it for themselves. They like the low standards for themselves. The reason why these people do it on Instagram, these body positivity coaches on Instagram or fat PTs, they do it purely for themselves. They don't actually care about people whatsoever. They do it because they actually care about themselves and want to lower the standards for everyone else to make themselves feel better.
With the not saying, oh, you're fat. I don't know, I used to say it to Ari, Ari used to say it to me, like,
Because you're male friends. Men are horrible to each other.
We were both overweight. Like, let's say I saw Ari eating the chocolate. I was like, bro, stop being a fat bastard. Put it down. Like, let's go do something active. Or he'd say the same thing to me. If I put on weight, I would be like, okay, let's like lock in for a few days, go to the gym, start moving more.
Because you're proper friends.
Yeah, like benefit each other. There's no point me saying to him, oh, Ari, you look good. Like, you can have that chocolate bar, like all these girls do to each other. Like,
girls.
The girls, bro.
Stop
the girls,
lying to each
they
other.
go, oh yeah, you should meet my friend. She's beautiful. She looks like Gorlock the Destroyer. The
Destroyer.
She'll come in looking like a fridge.
She's
and
a
say
10.
she's beautiful.
Yeah,
Stop lying.
my favourite one, isn't it? You know, Lizzo, with everyone, all the women go, she's beautiful. I'm like, well, if you tell a girl, oh, you look like Lizzo, they're going to cry, right? So she obviously knows they look beautiful. Girl, the thing is, men, if you're looking about this, men are horrible to each other's faces because we like each other. Women nice to each other's faces, but they hate each other.
Yeah.
And that's the truth.
Because
They're
there's no
horrible.
honesty. They'll backstab each other. I'd rather get told, you look like shit, go to
You train the most famous man in the world, Deji.
Why are you laughing? Actually, it's not actually that far off, yeah.
He's got a great legacy.
Yeah, he's pretty famous, yeah.
So he got a challenge by KSI if he lost, what was it, 10 kilos?
You got a six-pack. You just got a
He
six-pack.
got a six-pack, he would get
£1 million.
£1 million.
£1 million. Not dollars, pounds.
Deji came to you.
Basically, a company work called BioSpan, who what they do is they basically cook all the best food. They go into people's kitchens, they get all the ingredients and basically food prep for them. So Deji came to BioSpan. Kevin, the owner, contacted me to basically take Deji, came to us, and Deji did really well. The problem was, I think he had 6 months. He came to us for like typical of Deji. Came to us for the last 10 weeks, and he did really well. Like he did really well. If you put the photos, like he did well. But he literally, I would say he had a visible abs, but didn't have a six-pack. But he got pretty close.
He should have started earlier.
Yeah, and he would have easily done it. Like he smashed it. Like he worked very, very, very hard. But then just literally just missed out. So,
What do you think he could have done better?
yeah, you know what? Nothing. He just sort of started earlier. I genuinely mean that. He actually worked very, very hard. It's not me just brown nosing. We did really well. Like he worked very, very hard. Always turned up, trained hard, and we trained correctly as well. Did his conditioning, did his food. But the only thing was, we just had 2 extra weeks. 12 weeks would have done it. Definitely.
What are your thoughts on biohackers like Nate Belmar and Brian Johnson?
So Brian Johnson actually watched a lot of his stuff. So with Brian Johnson, one thing I'd say first of all, he's definitely a well-intentioned person. I think he gets a lot of rubbish of people. A lot of people are very jealous of him. The guy, I think, sold a company, I think it's for 100 million back in the day. And then, like we said before, he's the example of like a client. So he accumulated wealth, but then wanted to get healthy, right? Yeah. That's the next thing you look for. I love the stuff he says is great. However, I think that if you have to take 300 supplements a day, probably 100 supplements, I kind of think you're missing the point. However, he's doing it for an experiment. So this experiment hasn't done before. The whole point of him doing it is he has as much money as he wants, and he's willing to do it himself with all the best people. So I think it's an interesting project. And he definitely, if you look at people in general, someone like him generally is definitely a net positive for the world. And I think the biohacking community are as well. I think that a lot of stuff that comes out is like biohacking or new eventually becomes mainstream medicine.
One thing that I don't want to say confuses me about him, but his whole thing is like longevity, like being on this planet for as long as you can and looking as good.
Don't die, yeah.
Don't die. But he spends so much time throughout his day doing these routines. I feel like you could almost live a relatively healthy lifestyle and live your life better. Whereas he has like constantly these like red light machines, all this stuff that he does. It must take such a large portion of it.
Well, then you're almost having less of a. So I know what you were trying to say. It's basically like you have always less time on earth because your whole day is doing that. So if you just did normally and say live to like 80, say live healthy to 90, right?
Yeah.
Say lives to 120, but like this, he probably actually has had less time on earth just living his life.
Yeah,
actually,
how much time he spent doing these things for the longevity.
Yeah, but I think he's doing it for an experiment, though. To be fair to him, I agree with you. It's just crazy. But I think that what his idea is, someone can watch him and then learn these protocols which work and what doesn't work. Because anything that doesn't work, he pulls back out again.
I mean, it's clearly working. I mean, he looks great for his age.
Yeah, he does. Looks amazing. It's funny watching people say he looks old or whatever it is, and then every single time the troll looks like shit. Always, as always.
Go
right?
The profile.
Yeah, it's always
fat guy.
always.
So coming to that about the trolls, I see a lot of your Instagram stories. You get a lot of backlash for some of the things you say when you call out bullshit, and you always click on their profile, and they either have blue hair or green hair.
In fact, you know what? Do you know what? Compared to most fitness, like I won't call myself influencers, annoying, but people who basically are out there, right, on Instagram, I get very little. I just basically highlight them, but I get very, very little compared to most. But we're shocked actually how many followers I have versus how many trolls I get. Get very, very little. Whatever the reason is, that I don't know. I think people say because they're physically scared of me. I think actually it's because I come across like obviously not a badly intentioned person. I think a lot of fitness influencers, I'll be honest, have the IQ of a cracker. So they just go, oh, this is the way you should be eating. Fat people are rubbish. And then like, mate, what are you doing? Like genuinely, I want to help people. So I think people do realise that. And so the people that come on my page don't really know me. So these people that comment something negative, every single time you see them, they're always unhappy. The thing is, even if you disagreed with something, like think about yourself. Are you really going to write a comment? Probably not. Does Michael Jordan comment on YouTube? Probably not. Does someone famous who's successful, the beautiful wife and family comment? Probably not. Particularly negatively anyway. So always you click on them. They always have blue hair, green hair. They always are fat. Usually a nose ring, weird tattoos that go up there, like you can tell they haven't thought about their tattoos. I don't know anything about tattoos, but like all like almost like self-harm tattoos.
It's usually someone, I don't want to say below you because that's not like a nice way to say it, but like less successful.
Yeah, no, you don't hate. Yeah, you don't. That's another thing. No, you have to settle that. But you don't hate downwards. People, you're okay. It's okay to hate up. You're okay if someone has the Ferrari and they're in shape or whatever it is. You're allowed to hate them. You can put because on a pedestal, you can have them down like celebrities, right? Yeah. People are horrific to them. Or you see Tom Aspinall or something, horrible stuff all the time. I'm like, it's because you're allowed to do that. But if someone you saw a tramp and someone's kicking them, be like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah. Or someone fat on the train and someone's prodding their belly. It's true, right? Everyone would be like, what that is? But I'm being serious. I've had it before on the train. I've had like stuff, people come up to me saying horrible things. And again, it's always the same kind of person. But then people aren't shocked by it or people start joining in because it's okay to do that. The losers combine together, like the Team Geek combined together. Like, yeah, you're not that impressed how you look. I'm like, I'm just on the train going to work. I'm not. I'm just in a normal t-shirt just going to work. But what I meant was basically you're allowed to hate people that are deemed above you. But if someone started belittling someone that's seen as not successful in a way, like the usual things, they're really overweight or not the best looking, people would go bananas, wouldn't they?
Yeah, also like people see like maybe like a fat person or someone who's like not very successful may see you on the train, for example, as something they want to be in the future, but haven't got like the energy or the balls even to go through the process of becoming that, and they're like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna hate on them instead.
It's interesting you said that because so something it's actually my pet hate. So if you go in the gym and a really overweight person and people belittle that person in the gym, I think I lose my shit literally if I see someone doing. I've had people like train me going like, oh look at that fat guy, and I go, what the fuck is wrong with you? That guy isn't the fat guy making fun of you. That guy goes, he wants to look like you. They're honest to themselves. They have the balls to come in here and do something about it, like you said. They're someone like you two. They go, I actually want to change. That person admits what they want to do. They're not the same person that's fat and trying to belittle you. So I hate when people who are in shape belittle people that are out of shape they're trying to change.
But it's funny because you never see people in shape belittle people who are fat in the gym.
You don't really know.
It doesn't happen because the person who's in shape knows, all right, he's coming to get in shape.
Yeah, but then people think they're getting judged. That's another one as well. So a lot of people think they're being judged, whereas I'll be honest with you, human beings don't really care because they're too busy with their own issues. They don't give a shit what you're doing. They're not even looking at you.
Yeah, a lot of the time they're so self-conscious. They may think that someone looking at them is judging it, but they're literally just like, glancing past you.
Yeah, the glance. No one even cares. Do you know what you're doing? A lot of women literally think someone's staring at the gym, and half the time they just don't care. People as you train don't even look in their direction, literally. They don't even notice. They look They're looking at themselves, posing in the mirror, flexing their arms. Yeah.
And the clothes they put on as well is like that they want to be looked at so they can say someone's looking at me and they get weirded out.
Absolutely. And the thing is, that's just the way it is. If you're wearing something to be provocative and obviously it's wrong, like, something like attacking them, etc., but it's horrific. However, if you're wearing something to be provocative and a guy looks at you, and they're not even staring, they're looking at you like a girl looks in shape or looks nice, you've done nothing wrong. Yeah. God forbid, say like you're a guy in a vest and a girl looks at you and then looks at you again and you look good. No man on earth would get angry. It doesn't exist. 0% of men on earth would ever do that. It doesn't exist among men. But women get angry. Not all women. Not all women go, oh, thank you. They just take it as a compliment. Another one they'll do though, if a guy is a good-looking guy stares at them, I love it. The guy's a fat, ugly guy. They'll be disgusted by them. So what suits them? There's actually a good parody, like sketch. There was this guy basically came out to this girl and went, "Oh, would you like to go for it's in an office. Would you like to go for a coffee on time?" And the girl goes, "You're a fucking creep. You're disgusting. How dare you ask me? He's a fucking weirdo." And she goes to her friend, "That's disgusting." Tom Brady walks in a pair of Y-front boxers, puts his foot on the table, like his penis in her face. He goes, "Hey, do you want to hook up sometime?" She goes, "Oh my God, of course." He's such a heartthrob. Depends if they fancy the guy or not, basically.
Also, the problem with it in the gym is like these girls will wear like super revealing clothes on their body and like really tight leggings or shorts where they have like half their ass hanging out. And when some dudes look at them, like they shouldn't be staring. But when they do
look, what's wrong?
When they do look, they complain. It's like, okay, well, he's not going to look at the girl who's wearing loose joggers and a jumper, but when you have your bits hanging out, it's like...
What do you expect?
Yeah.
It's just a really weird thing that literally women get angry. Like, what do you want? And my mum always used to talk about this. She goes, the women get that angry, a guy even looking at them, just like they're wearing nothing. And they go, looks. And he goes, well, look forward to when you're 80 or 70 or 60s, and no guy even looks in your direction. We'll see how much you love it then. When no guy looks in your direction, we'll see what you think then.
Also, they may not even be looking at you because of your body. They may just be saying like,
half naked.
Yeah, like you look ridiculous.
So literally, if Ariel was in like a red velvet thong in here, literally taking the podcast, I'll probably be staring at him too. Like, it's true. Yeah. Literally, yeah. Actually, next time you do it, I would like you to wear a red velvet thong.
Yeah, no homo.
No homo. Well, actually, probably no hetero, to be honest with you. But yeah, hetero. But yeah, exactly. They're looking because they're wearing something revealing. Just the way it is. They're looking like that.
It's all about perspective.
Yeah. Your mother's Japanese. How did growing up with a Japanese mother influence your success?
First of all, if this is a clip, my mum actually is Japanese. When watching, it looks a bit weird. So my mum was incredibly driven, and anyone who's visited Japan will understand that there are the most stoic, hard-working people in the world, like by a country mile. They're very different. So obviously, all of us and anyone watching, what you grow up with is what you can do normal, right? So I didn't understand how different my mum was. That's the only mum I had, right? So I thought that was normal. Till I went elsewhere and obviously saw other people's mums, etc. She was just like how you should be. She was very, very warm. She was a dentist. So it was a very good female role model, actually, because she worked very hard, had a good professional job, but was still a mum and wanted to be a woman. Like, she literally cleaned the house, cooked for us. Her sole priority, looking after her children, loving her children, even though she had a very good job. So would hate this not a male feminist, sorry, this modern feminist stuff. She'd hate it. She'd call it the cancer of the world. And she goes, and I would ask my mum deliberately, because I knew her answer would be, "Mum, what do you think of the gender pay gap?" And she goes, "Don't even care, I just go to work." Any woman I've ever asked in my entire life who's successful, they will literally give you the same answer, like, "I don't care, I don't even think about it."
Not a victim mentality. Yeah,
it doesn't make any difference. Maybe there is some truth to it, but what it does, it belittles women that have done well. You're basically saying, "Oh, you've only got there because you're a woman." So she would hate it. But growing up with my mum anyway, just a solid foundation for work ethic, similar to old school British mentality, stiff upper lip. So if something is very difficult, you better pull up your socks and just get on with things. You'll never let me ruminate in things. Something very hard happened or something sad happened, she'd be like, "Okay, talk about it, that's enough now." They move on from that. So she loved basically sports. My mum was a national level swimmer, always prioritized academics. And one of the biggest things I learned from her was she would say to me, "There's not one or the other, being academic or being in shape." She goes, "They come hand in hand." She'd be like, "There's no reason for you to literally pick one or the other. You should be good at sports and you should be academic as well," which I agree with, and earn money. She goes, "A man needs to earn money and a man needs to be in shape as well." And that was the way the Japanese culture works. She goes, women are women and men are men. And that's the way it is.
You own a gym, you're in the bodybuilding scene, the martial arts scene. What are your thoughts on steroids and the physical and psychological dangers of them?
So it's an interesting question. So first of all, I think people are more not accustomed to them. They're less of a taboo to them. Now I think people talk openly about them. A lot of bodybuilders, Chris Bumstead, openly talks about taking steroids. I mean, obviously he does them anyway, but unfortunately people would look at someone like that who's Mr. Olympia and go, "Oh, I don't think he takes steroids because he's like good looking." I'm not joking. People think because he looks normal, like facially, "Oh, he doesn't take steroids." The fitness industry, the film industry, every single person is taking steroids. And the way the morality thing about it is, if you're in a non-drug tested sport like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or no-gi grappling,
like
then Gordon Ryan is open about them. In fact, if you're doing that kind of, if you're competing that kind of sport and you're not taking steroids, you're an idiot. Because literally you're ridiculous. You're competing with people that are enhanced. And if you're not doing it, then you're always going to be at a disadvantage. and particularly in the UK where we are now, they're legal to take. They're illegal to sell, but they're legal to take. And then you're competing in a non-drug tested event. You're not cheating anyone at all. It's insanity. Like I'm not saying you have to take them, but to say that you're cheating someone is nonsense. But it's your choice whether you take them or not. In terms of side effects, depends on the dosage, just like with anything. So if you're moderate with them and you do them properly, you'll get very little side effects to them. If you take them, say, for 12 weeks and you actually look after yourself, you get your blood work done before you start and after you start, you'll have pretty much zero side effects from them. But then it's in the dosage. You can take lots of big dosage of things and end up destroying yourself. It's the same with any kind of drug.
So you have people that shit on steroids when people take steroids to perform better, but then they'll happily take the vaccine.
Yeah, we're going to that. Yeah, but they'll happily, being serious, they'll happily, well, it's true. They happily take something that no one knows about and not been around long enough and not tested long enough, right? So, better example, just straightforward, is they'll smoke and drink and take coke on the weekend that came out of someone's arsehole. It's true, literally. And then they're happy to do that, which it is what it is. You can do that. However, the fact is you're happy to do that, but then why are you worried about taking something that is actually going to enhance how you look and how you feel and has less side effects than smoking and drinking, but they have a lot of positive aspects to them. The real reason they're doing that is because people like to shit on people who take steroids because it still gives them an excuse why they're not in shape. It's that ACE card people have. They see someone like that, they'll go, oh, but it's steroids. I've had people, they'll walk past me with their girlfriend, and it's the most emasculating thing, they'll look at me and they'll turn to their girlfriend and go, steroids are this. And I'll tell you exactly what the girl thinks, and every girl who comments below this will tell you this. It makes the guy look like a pussy. It just does. If the guy went, oh, that guy's in good shape, they'll like the boyfriend more, but, oh, good for you. He goes, oh, that guy's in great shape. The guy the Ferrari drives past, like, oh, awesome. That guy, that's good for him. You look more masculine. You actually look up to people that are successful. As soon as you do that, women aren't stupid.
Because you're self-conscious.
Yeah, hit them on the head. It's like the going bald thing. Women don't give a shit if someone goes bald. It's actually a male thing. But if the guy starts like combing over his hair, all this stuff, the guy just shaves it off, no one cares. But it's because the guy's self-conscious. Women are scanners. They want someone who's competent and secure. So the issue is a lot of women, when they're young, pick confident, secure guys which aren't confident, secure, they're actually insecure. That's why they're aggressive. But if someone, a fully grown woman, understands someone is competent and secure is what they look for. But as soon as they start belittling other men, they know why they're doing it. But the one line is about that. It's an ACE card for someone that why they're not in shape. So that's why they shit on them.
Also, steroids with young people being not promoted, but almost promoted by people like Togi. What do you think about that?
Who's that?
Togi, this influencer. I think he's in his early 20s or just turned 20. Started taking steroids and uni, drinking, gambling. Made it his lifestyle. That's what he's famous for. Now,
What?
now you have college students.
Sound like a great guy. What's wrong with that? A great guy. No, being serious. I mean, the big difference is if you do them sensibly. I think the age, unless you're literally going to become an IFBB pro, like a physique pro, and that is your life, and you genuinely earn money from it, living from it, and you become a successful IFBB pro, you have a brand. Good for you. Good for you. However, if you're someone who's just going to the gym and likes training, you need to, you should at least wait till 25. At least wait till 25. So someone like that obviously is a negative influence completely because kids don't know what they're doing, basically, and they're ruining themselves.
Before we wrap up, I want to ask you one more question. What is one common misconception about you?
That's a good question. Because on Instagram, people know me. Depends how much they know me. So walking around the street, people will think I'm thick, and then I'm thinking maybe I'm still thick. No, people who don't know me, I get a shock when they hear me talk. People always go like, I didn't expect you to sound like that. They expect me to like an Essex boy or something like that. So they get shocked. I'm like basically a posh boy. I think, actually, the biggest misconception, people who basically misread me on Instagram, stuff like that, is they think that because I'm harsh, it's because I'm an arsehole. It's generally compassionate about people. Because saying to someone who's overweight and killing themselves, saying, you look good how you are, that's not being passionate. A good person will tell them the truth because they want to help them. And I genuinely care a lot about people. I'm a people person. I like people. And that's what people take as a misconception. They think I'm an arsehole when I'm just genuinely not. And people who know of me can do it 400 times removed. I don't have actually that many, I don't really have any skeletons. I generally am a good person. I care a lot about people. And I think the Instagram needs to understand, or the internet needs to understand, people that are the nice guy are not the nice guy. They're a wolf in sheep's clothing.
Yeah, because the truth hurts, and if you're telling people the truth, it's good for them, but it doesn't always sound like the nicest thing you may come across as an arsehole.
Yeah, in the long run, you're harming someone. And also another one, the nice guy who is pathetic and weak, who is a nice guy. They're not the nice guy. They're actually only the nice guy because that's the only choice they have.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're nice, if you're physically tough and no money and you're still nice, then you're a nice guy.
Thank you, James.
Cheers. Thank you.